to live another day. Nobody wants to see us picking each other off. It's not beneficial to any of us or whatever. We all still want to be here. If everyone, even if it's a scapegoat situation, if everyone stands up and says, Jamika is the one who's going to give the other 5 of us another week to stay in this house, then you better be damn sure Jamika's going to go home. I promise you that. And whether or not you think there's honor, there's trust, there's value in this, it doesn't matter. You'll see on Thursday. If Jamika's on the block, I'm voting Jamika out. And it doesn't matter if it's against Dick, Danielle, or Jessica. Any single one of them, I will vote Jamika out. I believe that's the best play strategically for all of us, and that is what I'm going to do. That's what I hope happens.
As do I, but we still have 1 week to make that happen, and that's what I'm trying to figure out, if that's worth the risk or not. I don't know.
Depending on what transpires this week, it's not a guarantee that that will be the result next week, you know.
Right. And that's why we've got 2 chances versus 1.
Right. Which is why I believe it should be, first of all, you go after her only next week, and if she wins the veto, it's that simple, she stays. Not to mention that if there are people who are all worked up and shook up and upset next week or whatever, then they won't make her the target, you know?
Right.
And, you know, obviously, you're not competing next week or whatever. It puts you in a bad position in that way. Sending Jamika out means that you're only upsetting someone who couldn't go after you anyway, you know, so on and so forth. We will all be happy with it. And I don't want to put words in her mouth, but I will say that you might have a concern that, you know, Jessica's close with her. How would Jessica vote, or how would that affect my vote, or whatever the case may be? Just like Dustin and just like Amber before, if Jamika's up, I'm voting Jamika out. And, you know, take it for what it's worth. If you don't believe me and she's still up, which is what I desire, it's what Danielle told me she desires, it's what Jessica told me she desires, when she's up there on Thursday, you'll see. It'll be a 3-0 vote, and that'll be that.
I think so, too.
And she's a great personal threat to you. That's the thing that consistently for weeks, let alone in the last couple of days, that as you've conversed with everyone, has been a standard status quo thing, that she's your target. You want her out. You can't beat her. You're afraid of what happens if she stays. And honestly, and I don't mean this in a threatening way, like I am too, and we should be. You should be, and I should be.
I think
if she stays, we're up Schitt's Creek without a paddle. And don't think that she can't come out and whoop our asses in the competitions. I think, depending on the competition, I think, you know, she could show a side that, you know, is very competitive. She will have been brewing for 5 weeks. If she look at it this way, if she makes it out of 5 unprotected weeks where she can't target anyone, she's no threat to anyone, and lives to say it, that says an awful lot about what her status in this game is.
Or how bad we suck.
Well, right. And, you know, people talk about, you're going to kick yourself over this one or whatever. I don't want to kick myself over the decision I made yesterday, and you don't want to kick yourself over the decision. It does you no good getting out Jess, getting out me, getting out Dick, or getting out Danielle if you end up going home next week anyway. And that is no good for anyone. Jamika, for me,
but for that
is a clear-cut option.
And for that, the scary part is then if I side with you guys, or whoever, whatever side is
siding.
No. If I side with you and Jess for the HOH competition next week, I'm probably going to go home. If I side with Dick or Danielle, I'm probably going to go home. So it's like, I don't know.
I don't see it as needing to be siding. By picking Jamika, you're in.
No, I'm saying, no. I'm meaning for the HOH next week.
In terms of.
If there are 4 players, I'm going up on the block next week. I know that. I'm trying to figure out a way in which to not make that happen.
You don't think that we just put the 2 of them up and they just put the 2 of us up?
I thought about that, but I don't think so.
I actually think that's exactly what would happen. I think that you would be
I thought that at first, but I don't think so.
I don't know.
I don't know.
That seems pretty likely to me. I mean,
that was my first thought, but I'm like, you know.
Well, why would it be better to go 2 against 2 in the Final Four? It would be a lot better for either side to go 2-1-1, you know, if that's the way that they were looking at it.
Perhaps. I'm really worried about next week. That's what I'm really concerned with, and I don't have an answer.
Well, again, you're going to take it as whatever you want to take it. I am telling you to keep myself here, to keep Jessica here, to see Jamika leave. I will give you the moon, the stars, and the sun. And whether or
I
not
understand that.
whether or not you believe it, whether or not you care, doesn't make any difference. I will promise you I will vote Jamaica out, and I couldn't mean it any more dead seriously. I want her up and I want her gone. And, you know, I can't do anything. Obviously, it's not of great value to you anyway or whatever. But if you wanted to talk about, you know, if I win next week, you know, you're safe. I will do it and I mean it. Like, you know, we all are just trying to make it through 1 week at a time.
I know.
And whatever I can do to
I
stay
agree.
here, I'm going to throw Dick and Danielle under the bus because I don't want this back and forth, whatever.
No, I
actually,
respect that.
I actually think they've played a good game. I like what they're doing in the game. The only thing that even makes their names come out of our mouths is because what am I supposed to say? Yes, please put me up. Please put Jessica. And the same thing from them. I don't think they have any personal problem with either of us. They're just, what are they supposed to say? They're not going to campaign to put themselves up.
Sure.
But ironically enough, I'm not even saying put them up, put them up. I'm saying put Jamaica up. Put any of the four of us against Jamaica. Jamaica's going to go home. Obviously, would I rather see one of the two of them sitting next to Jamaica? Yes. But if the best I can get from you is Jamaica
Yeah, I know.
up, then I will take it, you know?
I know. Well, let me see if anybody else. But if not, then I'll keep going.
No, totally. You know what? I'll let you go. I mean, I think we've said a piece,
Okay.
and think it was a good conversation. By the way, like, I get excited. Don't take that as like
it's
an
all right.
aggressive type of thing.
I
I actually like engaging in these types of
So do I.
discussion and debate and what have you. I appreciate it. I mean, I think
Sure.
we all know where everyone stands, and we'll see what happens in a couple hours.
See if they're out there.